Never here from Drake Wayne Gaming and Silky Mountain on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Kingsguard, Kashiro's Path. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, we're up and let's go! You see, I was on patrol of these parts of the village when your steps caught my attention. And of course I went to check out and found you. You know that's how I found you last night, stomping around like an elephant that anyone could have heard from the village. Sorry I'm not a stalker like you, able to hush my steps to make it easier to spy on people. Well, you should consider yourself lucky. Without so much noise, I wouldn't have been able to save you. Last night, when our eyes met, you were mere inches away from making a fatal step that would have landed you in a pit of spikes not unlike this one. You gulped. Just what kind of place was this? It seemed peaceful, but to find out there were hundreds of those kinds of traps just scattered around, that seemed a bit excessive. Did he really save you, or was he just saying this to catch you off guard again? He wanted to say that he was lying, but the look in his eyes was solid. He was telling you the truth. And you aren't worried about stepping in your own traps? It seems a bit careless to place so many. You are underestimating us, Your Majesty. We would never lock ourselves in a cage without having the key. Those of us who guard this village have undergone intense training since we were children, taught to memorize where every single trap was hidden. Then our knowledge would be tested, would be left stranded in the wilds with no food or water. If we couldn't get back home in enough time, it was considered a failure, and we would have to do it all over again. All over again. More than a few times, some were caught in a trap they would never survive from. It sounds horrible. It is a necessary measure to keep this village hidden from the rest of the world. The fact that we have stayed a shadow shows that we have been effective, which is why you are not to be left alone. Hyosuke took a step forward, and you took a step back. I'm fully capable of watching over myself. I get the feeling that you're still not happy to see me, even after all I've done for you. You have my thanks for saving me from those traps, but you're the last person I would entrust my life to. Just a thank you? I was told that the king was far more generous than that. Not humble at all, are you? I don't know what you want with me, but if you're looking for some kind of reward, then you should know that I don't have anything to give at the moment. Oh, I assure you, you do. You're afraid to ask, but not knowing was likely worse. And what would that be? Why don't you invite me inside? I'd be more than willing to tell you over a cup of tea. Is there a problem with telling me out here? There are eyes and ears everywhere. Whether you know it or not, someone is always watching, listening. I'm sure that you have told me that you value privacy. You're already regretting even talking with him. If he had something to say that required the two of you to talk in private, then it obviously wasn't good. Well, this is not my home, so I don't have that privilege. Then perhaps you'd like to come back to my place. I can assure you it's in much better shape than that rundown shack. Your place? You mean that tool shed again? If you'd rather we meet there. He started to smile devilishly, and you didn't even want to know what was on his mind. It was just as difficult to deal with as he was yesterday, and trying to get the truth out of him wasn't working. He decided to just turn around and head back to the house. Kashiro would be back soon, and if he ignored the wolf, perhaps he would just go away. It was clear that he was just hungry for attention, like a spoiled kid always getting in trouble. Wait. Just as you were about to leave, he rushed forward, the leaves kicking up beneath his feet as he latched onto your arm. He twisted you around, bringing you into a bear hug, his face just inches away from your own. You seem to have it in your head that I'm some kind of a big bad wolf. I'm not your enemy here. Once more, you can feel his hot breath against your face. A bit too close for comfort. From what I hear, you nobles employ personal bodyguards to keep you safe while you sleep at night. I'm the strongest wolf in the village, you know. I've killed hundreds with just my bare hands. If anyone deserves the role of protecting you, it should be me. Wouldn't you agree? He brought a free hand up to your forehead, dusting away your hair to look at it closely. That wasn't there last night. Quickly, you shoved him back and put a hand up to your forehead and covered it. Is that how you think you should treat a king? How did you get that? It's none of your concern. He did that, didn't he? What? Why would you think that? I wouldn't hold it against him. He's a vicious beast who deserves to be put down. He didn't do anything to me. If you have nothing important to say, then be on your way. Kashiro will be returning back any moment. I don't know why you placed trust in him. If you truly knew what kind of monster he was. He's done more for me than you ever will. I trust him because he's family. All he does is lead those around him to ruin. The pain you have felt was all caused by him. He is a walking hex, a curse incarnate. The longer you stay with that gaijin, the more you will suffer. Don't you ever use that word around him or me again! Your fist clenched together as you took a step forward. You were just a stone's throw away from raising your fist to fight him. Anger was nearly driving you at this point, and if you weren't careful, Kashiro likely would have something to worry about. You tried to rein back in your emotions. He seemed quite adept at controlling people that way, and you couldn't let him have his way. So he told you what it meant, huh? Yes, among other things, like the way this village treated him. And you should know that we were just. He's an outsider. So am I! Your family and our village have had close ties for centuries. We have always watched over one another, but he comes from a village of savages, always barking and biting at every last thing that crossed their path. They had no control over themselves, and the gods cast down their divine light on their corrupt souls. The only reason he is still around is because even the gods couldn't allow a demon like him into their sacred realm. From my perspective, it's the people of this village who are the demons. Perhaps you may be right. I don't know much about Kashiro's village, so I can't speak for them or their actions. Maybe his village was filled with bloodthirsty savages and the like, but Kashiro is not like them. I know what kind of person he is. He's caring, quiet, patient, not at all like the demon you make him out to be. He smiles, sheds tears, gets angry, turns red when he's embarrassed. All natural emotions that every single person has. But I still don't see how it is that you view him as a monster. He may have been born into a village that rivaled this, but he has done nothing to wrong this village. Ever since the day that he was brought in, despite being tortured and abused, despite losing everything, his family and friends, he still served this village and the royal family as faithfully as any one of you. But you are so blinded by the past, your rage and petty grudges so thick to see the real him. To punish someone like him, shun someone who was guilty of nothing wrong, how can you live with yourselves? If you only came here to convince me not to trust Kashiro, then your plan has backfired. He's the only one here that I trust with my life. Nothing you say will change that. Now you came to say your hello so you can leave. I have nothing more to say to you. As you turned around and returned to the house, you were met with the familiar sight of a beast man wearing a demonic-looking fox mask. In his hands was a basket filled with various foods. His attention was only on you for a few months before he removed his mask and glared at Hyosuke. The wolf surprisingly took a single step back, but he caught himself, puffed out his chest a bit, and stood his ground. Despite the look he was giving back, you could tell that he looked worried. As soon as the back of Kashiro's fur began to rise and his tail started to bristle, you could tell this encounter would not end as peacefully as last night. You! The Elder forbade you from ever stepping foot up here again. Why are you here? Kashiro's mouth quivered just enough that you could see his canines poking through. Kashiro! Jake! Get back inside the house! He didn't even turn to look as he interrupted you. His fingers began to wrap around his daggers, and his eyes reflected an inner ferality as though he was defending his territory. Kashiro, stop! He was just leaving. See? What did I tell you about them? Savages, already hungering for blood. This is who he really is, Your Majesty. A killer at heart. Not at all fit to protect you. Is this really the kind of person you want watching your back? Jake! Get inside the house! He was starting to grow impatient as he shouted at you to leave. He took several steps forward, but you blocked him from reaching Hyosuke. Jake! Stop this, Kashiro! I would stay away from him if I were you. He might just kill you to get at me. Kashiro rushed forward to be you intercepted, holding him tight to keep him from getting any closer to the wolf. The fire in his eyes was blazing hot now, and his hands shook violently. You had to be careful not to get poked by the daggers he wielded. You were using all your strength to keep him at bay, but you knew that he could easily have threw you aside with just a flick of his wrist. Strength wasn't going to get him. You had to speak to him to stop, and you had to get Hyosuke to stop antagonizing him. Kashiro, stop this instant! I order you to stop! He struggled just a bit harder in your grasp for a moment, but you could feel him starting to restrain himself. Stand down and do not attack him! Kashiro, I'm ordering you to stop this as your king. Do you understand me? Yes. He wasn't himself at all as he spoke through gritted teeth. His face was contorted, sculpted into an effigy of animosity. The way his entire body convulsed and the way that his words hissed out of his mouth through gritted teeth. This couldn't have been him. You felt like you're in the middle of the Red Sea again with a storm that tore you from the safety of the ship beginning to draw closer from the distance. And Kashiro, he was waves, the wind, the thunder, and lightning. His fury coming for you for stopping him for getting closer to his enemy. He truly wanted nothing more than to attack Hyosuke, and that was all that was on his mind. You turned your attention back to the wolf, who seemed to be enjoying seeing the sight of Kashiro, smirking as you could just barely hold him back, trying to prove his point. He had to go now before things got any more out of hand. Hyosuke, I think it's time that you left. Just as things are beginning to get Now! You swallowed your terrors, your fear, and sadness. You wanted nothing more than to be like Kashiro, let go of all inhibitions and have anger drive you forth. Hyosuke deserved it, to have hell rain down upon him, but instead you decided to simply show it. Show him in your eyes that you wanted him gone. Hyosuke's smile faded as he took several steps back toward the trees. He turned back around, and you knew he was trying to get in one last word. Jake, you remember this moment well. Know that I am not your enemy here. Despite what you may think of me, I will protect you, just as ordered. If you ever feel threatened or scared, you come to me. Now that you see what kind of beast he really is, know that at any moment he can and will hurt you. Hyosuke nodded to your arm that Kashiro was now digging into with his nails. You didn't even notice the blood slowly dripping out as the pain felt dull. You think you have a friend, but that is just false pretenses. Deep down, he is nothing more than a monster waiting to claim his next victim. Leave! Kashiro dug in a bit deeper and you squinted through the pain, hoping to hide it from the wolf, but he could tell. Hyosuke then vanished into the trees and out of view, making not a sound. He listened around for a few moments, but there was nothing but the wind and birds. The feeling of being watched that rose the hairs of the back of your neck was always gone. Hyosuke was likely far away by now, but Kashiro was still vigilant, his eyes scanning the forest and ears twitching to the slightest of sounds. He looks ready to give chase, still lost in his own anger. Second, I need that drink. Okay. Kashiro? Despite being right next to you, he couldn't hear you, and his feet started to dig into the ground. Kashiro. He was kicking up dirt and grass like a boar about to charge. It'd be impossible to catch up to him if he left. He had to make a drastic choice to get him to lose his focus. You take your hand up and yell at, slap Kashiro? Oh, slap? Oh, okay, so... Huh. Alright, I think I am going to pause it right there. That is leaving me with a choice. Alright, so y'all in the comments, let me know what is the best route that I can take. None of them seem like good options, but... Yeah, y'all just let me know which is the better path to take. Anyway, excuse me. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon, YouTube memberships if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!